Hey, and welcome to part 2 of the series Sounds of the Faroese Letters. As I said in the first part, if you have not watched my first video called The Faroese Alphabet, then I suggest that you do that before watching this. But let's get into it. The first sound we have is the sound y, as in jól and júli. Jól, júli. Then we have k, as in kona. When you pair ka with e, then you get jatje, itje, kikare. So in the first two examples, when it's at the end of the word, it has the short Faroese e sound, jatje, itje. But in kikare, then it has the vowel of e, kikare. And then this is a special case because I will personally say kaga and naga with more like a g sound, g. But there are people in the Faroe Islands who will have like an aspirated sound for the k. So kaka and naka. Kaka and naka. So I guess it just depends on people's accents, but just know that you can either say kaga or kaka. So I guess it's up to you. Then we have the sound l, lesa. But when you pair L with these different letters, then you get an aspirated sound. So L and K would be mjölk and fölk. L and T would be holt and hjalte. And L and P would be hjálpa. So mjölk, fölk, holt, hjalte, hjálpa. And then when you have two L next to each other, it's usually a DL sound, hiddl, uddl, ödl. However, there are exceptions, and my theory for this is that these words are either international or they came from Danish or something. Briller, William. William is obviously an English name, William, and briller comes from the Danish brilla. Then we have the sound as in moose. But then in these examples, kvörjun fall, konun, husun, hondun, which are all in the dative, it sounds like UN. You do not say kvörjum fall and konum, husum and hondum, even though there is an M there. You would pronounce all of these with N instead. The only exception for this is when you have the word morgun, which means morning, but that word is not in the dative case. Then we have the sound n, as in naje. And when you pair N with G, which you also do a lot in English, it has, I think that's the phonetic transcription for it, but sing, hending. And then we have an example of where a word like setna with two N's has a DN sound, setna. But this is not the case for all words that have two N in them. So there's a few of them. And then we have the sound O, as in åman, koma. But in some instances, when the O becomes short because of the two consonants after the vowel, then it's omma and komma, kind of like the Danish O, omma, komma. And then a third option of O would be owner, sona, as if it was the letter O. Owner and sona. And now this is the letter O, and the, well, letter and sound O, as in over, over. And here you can say either under, or if you're from Suðuroy or somewhere else, under, with a Danish A. Likewise here you can say negv and pregv with the short Faroese E, negv, pregv, or you'll hear nogv and progv. Then we have the sound p, p, as in pera and puiler, pera, puiler. But if you have two p, then it's a little bit more like an aspirated sound, like upp, kappe, upp, and kappe. And then we have the famous zh sound, which is very hard for at least Americans. I can't speak for all English-speaking people, but I know for Americans it's very hard. The name of the letter is R, and the sound is R. Rosa, rätt. Rosa, rätt. Framførsla has the sh sound because it's next to an S. So R and S together makes a sh sound. Framførsla. And then we have these three examples. So New York and Björk, Marsten and Varspa. So when R is paired with K, T or P, then it becomes the sh sound, but you also hear the letter that comes next to it. And then, as you might already have noticed with a lot of words before we reached this slide, when nouns end with U, R, sometimes it just fades away a little bit, but hestur and glavur, hestur, glavur, it's hard to point out what exactly it is that Faroese people are pronouncing, but just know that it's spelled like UR, even though you might not hear that it is. Hestur, glavur. Then we have the sound S, S, as in sofa, sofa. But when you pair S, K, E and S, J, then it has the sh sound. Skjerping, sjekk, skjolvande, sjón. And then we have t, t, as in telefon, telefon. And when you pair T, J together, you have tjóur, tjald, tjóur, tjald. And as we mentioned with K, with kaka either being kaka or kaka, this is a similar example. I would personally say matur and fat with a D sound, but there are also people who would say matur and fat with an aspirated sound of T. But then we have an example where the T is silent, samviska. And then when we have international words like, you know, in English, Christian and Reformation, in Faroese it has the sh sound. So Christian is a male name, and Reformation is something that you can say, even though there is also a Faroese word for that. But sh would be the sound. And honestly, with these next two ones, when T and L are paired and T and N are paired, I don't know how to write that down, so I'm just gonna pronounce that. So TL would be tutl, tutl. And then TN would be vatn, vitna, vatn, vitna. So if you happen to know what the phonetic transcription is, then please write that in the comment section so that we all can learn. That's it for part 2 of the series. Stick around to see part 3 and subscribe if you have not already. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.